welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today you guys, I'm coming at you with another scary video. So apologies loves if my voice is a bit quiet in today's video. I saw family staying over and they have to get up pretty early for work, so I'm trying to talk as quietly as possible so I don't wake them. But today loves, I have another scary paranormal game for you. So you guys know that about 2 days ago, we talked about the Man in the Fields ritual, and when we were talking about that ritual, it said that it's very similar to the Midnight Game, and their game known as the Candles Game. So I hopped online, I did my research, and it turns out that the Candles Game is actually one of the most dangerous, scariest paranormal games you can ever attempt. So you guys, 2 reasons that I find this game really scary and dangerous is that first off, like the Man in the Fields, you have no idea what you're dealing with. Like, you don't know if you're dealing with a spirit, or a demon, or an entity, or a ghost, or a creature. Like, you don't know what's coming into your home, and I'd say trying to catch you or prevent you from completing this game. And secondly is that we have no idea what the consequences are for losing. Like, even the website doesn't tell us what the consequences are for losing this game. And like with every paranormal game, I feel like the reason some people would play is if they know the consequences, but for this game, we have no idea what the consequences are. So we're going to go through the game, we're going to talk about the rules, talk about how to play even though you should not play, and then we're going to get into my personal opinion on the game. And like I say with all my scary videos, if you guys don't like this stuff or aren't okay with it, feel free to click off. But now, let's get into the Candles Game. Okay. So I found the rules and everything for the game on a website called The Ghost in My Machine. So now let's get started. Okay. Most dangerous game, the Candles Game. There are a lot of reasons why you shouldn't play the Candles Game. The least spooky one is Fire Hazard. The others, though, well, let's just say whatever you might hear behind dark and closed doors is best left alone. Like a couple of other games we've covered here, this one arose from the No Sleep subreddit. It hit Reddit shortly after the Three Kings did. Oddly though, its creator has been inactive ever since. There's undoubtedly a logical explanation for his or her silence, but I can't help but think that it should be taken as a sign that this game should only be played, as always, played at your own risk. Okay, so the person or the creator of this game has been inactive ever since they posted the game. So that is just terrifying. Okay. Players. 1 principal, 1 partner. Requirements. 1 candle for every room in your home, 1 candle for every hallway in your home. Note that all candles should be capable of standing up on their own. Pillar candles are a good choice. If you must use tapers, make sure each has a candle holder. Matches or a lighter, a timekeeping device with an alarm. A digital wristwatch is ideal. Instructions. The setup. Begin during daylight. Close all the windows, curtains, and/or blinds in your home. Turn off any and all electronic devices. If it can make noise, light up, it should be turned off and ideally unplugged. Portable electronics such as phones, tablets, MP3 players, etc. should be placed in a box after they have been turned off. The box should be placed out of sight in a closet or a cabinet. The only electronic that should remain turned on and outside the box is your timekeeping device. Place 1 unlit candle at the end of each hallway in your home. Have your partner place 1 unlit candle on the floor of each room in your home, except for your own room. Do not let your partner tell you where the candles are. Do not ask your partner where the candles are. Once your partner has hidden all the candles, they should leave your home and not return until 6 a.m. Place 1 unlit candle inside your room directly in front of the door. Do not have your partner place this candle. You as a principal must place it yourself. Close all the doors to all of the rooms in your home. Set an alarm on your timekeeping device for precisely 11:10 p.m. At sunset, enter your room, close the door, and go to sleep. Keep your matches or lighter nearby. The main event. When your alarm wakes you up, confirm that it is precisely 11:10 p.m. Note: do not proceed if your alarm did not go off at the correct time. If your alarm did not go off at the correct time and it is still dark out when you wake up, remain in your bed. Remain facing the ceiling. Do not look around your room or under your bed. Do not fall asleep. Do not move until 6 a.m. If your alarm rings at precisely 11:10 p.m., you may proceed. Once it goes off, you have 1 minute and 1 minute only to light the candle in front of your door using your matches or lighter. Do not look around your room after the candle is lit. Do not proceed if you do not light your candle in time. So you have 1 minute exactly after your alarm goes off to light your candle. Okay. If you manage to light your candle by 11:11 p.m., you may proceed. Knock on the door to your room 3 times. There should be 3 seconds between each knock. Do not proceed if you hear any noise from beyond the door after the 3rd knock. If you do not hear any additional noises, you may proceed. Speak aloud the words, "I am ready to play." Open the door and place the lit candle from your room outside it. Close the door behind you. Begin moving through your home. Matches or lighter in your hand and timekeeping device nearby, obeying the following conditions. Whenever you reach a candle in the hallway, light it. Whenever you reach a door to a room, knock on it 3 times with 3 seconds between each knock. If you hear any noise from inside the room after knocking, do not open the door. Skip the room, but don't forget about it. Come back to it later. Note: all doors should be closed when you reach them. If any of them are opened, do not proceed. If you see a light from under any of them and you have not yet found and lit the candle within, do not proceed. Leave your home immediately. Do not return until after 6 a.m. If you do not hear any noises from inside the room after knocking, open the door. You have 3 minutes to find and light the candle your partner previously hid within. Note: if you do not manage to find and light the candle within 3 minutes, do not proceed. Enter the room, close and lock the door, and lie down facing the ceiling. Do not look around the room. Do not fall asleep. Remain there until 6 a.m. If you do find and light the candle within 3 minutes, set the lit candle back down, leave it in the room, and close the door. Do not reopen any of these doors after you have successfully found and lit the candles. After you have found and lit all the candles in your home, making sure to return to any rooms you previously skipped, return to the room. Knock on the door 3 times with 3 seconds between each knock. If you do not hear any noises from behind it, enter the room. Close the door behind you, lie down on your bed, and face the ceiling. Do not look under your bed. Do not look around your room. Do not fall asleep. The ending. At 6 a.m., the game is complete. Your house should now be safe. Additional notes. Avoid looking into any mirrors until the conclusion of the game. If possible, turn all the mirrors in your home around or cover them up during the setup. Once sunset arrives, you should be the only person within your home. It's also best not to have any pets around, as they may disturb the game. While moving about your home, look only in front of you. Do not try to look at any movements you may see or not see in your peripheral vision. I cannot talk, you guys. Should you hear any voices during the game, do not speak to them. The following are all grounds for a losing condition: disobeying any of the rules, performing any actions other than those specified by the rules once the game has begun, running. Concerning losing conditions, do not lose. And that is it, you guys. So I did find an experience in the bottom, I'd say comment section. So warning, this experience is quite scary and creepy. So if you want to skip ahead, here's a time for when I'm going to be done reading. So just a warning because it's pretty scary. Okay. I did this, but when I got back to my room, at the end, I knocked 3 times as it said to. I waited 3 seconds between each knock. When I finished, I heard the sound of something breathing on the other side of the door. I had lit all the candles. I had no other rooms or hallway to go next. I had no other room or hallway to go to next. Instead, I was trapped. I just kept knocking and waiting. Knock, knock, knock. Breathing. Knock, knock, knock. Breathing. The candle I had lit in the hall outside my room was the first to die. I stood there in the dark, hoping that this time the breathing would stop, but it didn't. Knock, knock, knock. Breathing. Knock, knock, knock. Breathing. All the candles had died, and I was in total darkness. Knock, knock, knock. Breathing. Knock, knock, knock. Breathing. My partner came back at 6 a.m. and found me standing there by my door, tears rolling down my face with my bloody knuckles. There was a bloody stain on my bedroom door where I had been knocking harder and harder, waiting for the breathing to stop. They told me I could stop now and that I had completed the game. I knocked again and the breathing was silent. And that is the end of their experience. Okay, you guys. So I find this game so insanely dangerous and so creepy. Like, you don't know what the consequences for losing are. Like, all it said is just don't lose. Like, it said don't fail, don't lose, and we don't know what the consequences are. Like, there is a consequence for losing, but I have a feeling it's very dangerous to the point that the website couldn't even say, like, what the consequences for losing are. Also, we read that experience and they said they knocked 3 times and all they heard was just breathing on the other end. So there was something there, and that's why they couldn't open the door. And they were knocking so hard that their knuckles started to bleed from the amount of how much knocking they were doing until 6 a.m. when their partner came back and was like, you can stop, you won the game. And we talked about a lot of dangerous games. Like, we talked about the dry bones, which is really dangerous, but at least with that game, we know the consequence for losing and we know that we're playing with a demon. For the Man of the Fields, okay, we don't know what we're playing with. Like, we don't know if it's an entity or a demon or a spirit, but we know the consequences for losing. We know that's going to come and take something, or in this case, he's going to come and take something that you really need. When it comes to the Midnight Game, we know the consequences for losing are being trapped in the hallucination of your greatest fear. With Red Door, Yellow Door, we know the consequences for losing are never awakening in the real world again. So we talked about a lot of scary games on my channel where we know the consequence for losing, but for this game, we don't know. Like, even the Dead Poet game that we talked about, if you're not player A by the end, you should just be careful in dark spaces. You should never say those specific words if you see something behind you. So we know the consequences for losing in almost every game we've talked about. But when it comes to this game, it just says don't lose. Like, don't lose the game, don't sleep. And apparently everything will be fine by 6 a.m. But again, you don't know what you're dealing with as well. Like, you don't know what is coming into your home. And the thing is, if you hear anything, you should just not proceed. But the thing is, if you hear something, you need to leave your house immediately as well. And again, you don't know what you're dealing with. It could be an entity, it could be a creature, it could be some kind of demon or spirit or like devil. Like, you don't know what you're dealing with or what's coming into your home. Is where I'd say catch you or prevent you from playing the game. Also, fire hazard. You're letting just candles burn around your entire house. So I feel this game is way too dangerous to play, and also because you don't know the outcome and consequences of it, you're in big trouble, because if you end up losing, then there's going to be a big problem. And like, I'm telling you guys, that experience just freaked me out. Like, imagine just knocking, you're the only one at home, and all you hear is just like breathing on the other end of the door. Like, I know if that was me, I would immediately just like freak out. Like, I would freak out and just run out of my house. But yeah, this game seems really dangerous. And like I said, the dry bones game is pretty dangerous. And you guys know you're playing hide and seek with a demon. Like, it's pretty dangerous. Also, one man hide and seek. The consequence is that if the doll finds you, it will end up possessing you, which is pretty bad. But for this game, we have no idea what's going to happen. Like, you don't know the consequences. That, like, even like the person who posted this just said don't lose. Like, they said just don't lose at all, don't like fail the game. But again, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, they wouldn't even say what the consequences were, and that tells me that this game is really bad if you lose. Which, like I said, I feel the dry bones is one of the worst ones, because you guys know that with the dry bones, if you lose, the demon will take you and do whatever he wants with you. So I don't know what could be worse than that, but it's pretty bad if the author or the person who posted this even wouldn't tell us what the consequences were. Like, I couldn't find anything on what the consequences for losing this game are. If you guys do manage to find, like, if you research this and do manage to find, comment down below. But I just feel that because we don't know the consequences, this game is way too dangerous to play. And like I said, you're also just letting candles like burn around your house, like, without you watching them. Like, personally, me, I don't burn candles unless I'm in the same room and watching them, because of course candles can start fires. So yeah, like, this game is just way too dangerous to play. Also, the fact that you just need to be careful and, like, I'd say watch your back, and also mirrors should be like completely covered, which I know like most of you probably know this, but mirrors are said to be portals into the other side. Like, if you guys do believe in the paranormal and stuff like that, mirrors are said to open portals to the other side. So, I mean, like, to be fair, mirrors should be completely covered during the duration of the game. You shouldn't enter a room if you see a light from underneath it. And if you can't light the candle within the 3 minutes, like, your partner is supposed to hide it. If you can't find it and light it within 3 minutes, you're supposed to stare up at the ceiling, lie down, and just not look around. Like, that's another thing. If the conditions aren't right, you're supposed to lie down and just stare at the ceiling. You can't look around your room. You can't look to the side. You can't, like, move your head. You're just supposed to, like, stare up at the ceiling straight, and you can't sleep either until 6 a.m. hits. So yeah, I just feel this game is really dangerous to play. And again, you don't know what you're dealing with. Like, it's kind of like the Ouija board. And like, I refer to the Ouija board a lot because the Ouija board is one of the most famous paranormal games ever. And the thing is, with the Ouija board, they always say to be polite and respectful because you know what you're contacting. You can contact a demon, you can be contacting a ghost, you can be contacting a spirit, so you know what you're contacting, which is why they say to always be polite. I mean, in general, you should be polite to anybody that you meet for the first time, but when it comes to something that is unalive, it has stronger power than anything that is alive. So it's also more so in the sense where the Ouija board, you know what you're contacting. Like, once you start doing and playing with the Ouija board, it contacts any spirit that's near. So the thing is, you know what you're contacting, which is why you need to be careful and very polite when playing with Ouija board. But yeah, this game just honestly freaked me out, you guys, and that experience was terrifying. It's kind of the fact where they say after 6 a.m. your house is safe, but again, we know that once you give something permission to enter, it might not leave, and it might take it upon itself to stay. And also, like I said, the fact you don't know what the consequences are, and you don't know what you're dealing with. So I feel this is really, really dangerous. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Comment down below, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And let me know if you would ever try this game. But until then, I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Love you.